Consider this your trigger warning. The following program is strictly satire and is not meant to be taken seriously. So don't get all butthurt, you liberal snowflakes, just because we skewer your sacred cows and expose all your lies and hypocrisy. Truth hurts, and so does satire. So grab a drink, pull up a chair, and enjoy the show.
I really love that intro. Thank you again to Mr. T out there who's done so much great work for us, making these videos professional and everything. And it is the Friday free-for-all. We've got Ooman in the studio, and I want to say, hey, everybody, don't forget, if you're going to drink coffee, you need to drink deplorable coffee because we're the deplorable crowd. So you need to go to cafefe.com, cof-fee-fee.com, and you can even get awesome merch like the deplorable coffee cup. Same story. Anyways, they're great sponsors of the show and amazing coffee. I love patriots, folks like you and me. We are what makes America work. Now, the FBI, they have been an integral part of the absolute sham of the investigation and process that we are going through with the Trump assassination. And again, folks, it's not going away. In fact, the FBI wants to interrogate, grill, bother Trump. They want to determine whether he was hit by a bullet or was it shrapnel. So Chris Wray, FBI director, rather than focusing on the investigation, like who was the shooter? Was there an accomplice? Was it a conspiracy? Was there a second shooter? Why didn't the snipers take him out until after? If there's supposed to be just one shooter, why did they wait until 8 shots were fired before they responded? Why? Why didn't the local police do more when they were called? Why wasn't the Secret Service notified? And don't tell me it's the slopey roofs. Whoa, right? So the FBI wants to attack a victim, a presidential candidate, former presidential candidate, and not investigate the communist killer? That's what we're dealing with, folks. That is the baloney that is going on out here right now. So Chris Wray, it is a complete sack of monkey spunk. And President Trump decided to respond to the FBI director and his bullshit conspiracy theory. You know, there's some this is a quote from Chris Wray. There's some question about whether or not it's a bullet or shrapnel that hit his ear. That's what in his testimony he's talking about that. It's like, what? Chickens and cheese, pal. You're supposed to be here investigating, right? Testifying about what they're doing about it. Isn't the FBI supposed to be the greatest criminal investigatory agency in the world, in the history of the planet? So this is what Trump's response was. And he's talking about Chris Wray, the FBI director. He's not talking about some little chicken shit chief of police. He's not talking about some third world bullshit law enforcement. He's talking about what is supposed to be the supreme pinnacle. The supreme pinnacle of law enforcement and super secret investigation. He says this is what Trump says of Chris Wray. His only focus is destroying January 6 patriots, raiding Mar-a-Lago, and saving radical left lunatics like the ones now in D.C. burning American flags and spray painting over our great national monuments with zero retribution. Trump fucking nails it, folks. He nails it as a partisan attack and points out the useless FBI for what it is. What is it? It's an agency that has demonstrated, I think, unequivocally, just without question, beyond question, It's an agency that commits crimes and allows crimes against patriotic Americans to benefit those who are interested in the destruction of our nation. Hey, Chris Ray, where are you? Head to the Senate chambers and take an ass pounding from your boyfriends, since that's all you seem good for. Good golly, folks. Really. This is what we're dealing with in the United States of America. Yep, I just double checked. 2025. 2025. Let me tell you, let's see. This is what Chris Ray is good at. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Setting up innocent men in fake kidnapping plots. Gretchen Whitmer, remember that? The governor of Michigan was being set up for a kidnapping from a group of morons that were being influenced and directed by an FBI agent. Let's see. The FBI is good at spying on Catholics at church. That's right. That's part of their program. Go spy on Catholics. Raiding the homes of peaceful pro-life activists. That's right. Raiding pro-life activists for praying. And how about this? Anyone who's a J6 protester, terrorizing them, their families, their children, by coming to their homes, pointing guns at people, and arresting them and throwing them in jail for no crime. They have raided the FBI and all of their butt buddies, raided the home of President Trump on bullshit charges and allowing their agents to go through Melania Trump's panties. They've probably never seen girls' panties since they're all a bunch of butt pounders. They hid evidence. That's a crime. And it would have exonerated President Trump in his first bullshit impeachment. Hiding evidence, refusing to turn over evidence, stonewalling, lying, cheating, ignoring subpoenas. They doctored evidence during the raid at Trump's house. They targeted parents at school board meetings and threatened them. That's what the FBI is good at, threatening parents who want to protect their children from perverts, drag queens, pedophiles, and trannies. And they hid evidence from the public regarding Hunter Biden's laptop. They hid and lied about Hunter Biden's laptop. And what about Congressman Weiner, Democrat, and his laptop that had a Hillary Clinton insurance file in it with lots of pictures, lots of videos that were so bad it brought policemen to tears, is the report. But no, he's respectable, right? We should all respect the FBI. Fat fucking chance. Fat chance. So, with respect, with prejudice towards Chris Ray, extreme prejudice at that, Dr. Jackson just blasted the shit out of Chris Ray for suggesting that it was shrapnel that could have hit Trump's ear. And he also provided, other medical comments. So, Dr. Jackson, he reviewed Trump's medical records, took a look at the pictures, the wounds, right? He says, I have treated many gunshot wounds in my career. This is Dr. Jackson. I have treated many gunshot wounds in my career based on my direct observations of the injury, my relevant clinical background, and my significant experience evaluating and treating patients with similar wounds. I think a medical doctor with combat experience, this is me now. Sorry about that. I think this is me speaking. I think a medical doctor with combat experience is more qualified to make gunshot assessments than a commie pinko fruitcake and his limp-wristed Keystone cops at the LB queer capital. I'm sick of these fucking people. Sick of their shit. You need to speak up. I need to speak up. We all need to speak up. We do. They're not going to back down. right? The president has an assassination attempt. A bullet skitters past his head and takes out a chunk of his fucking ear, pierces it. And the director of the FBI is going to question that and claim it wasn't a bullet. Look, the bullet missed by this much. But what if it missed by 2 feet? What's the fucking difference? What's the difference? The fact that someone was there, shot at the president, it was allowed. 17 clear, unmistakable, complete fuck-ups by the Secret Service, police, and the FBI wants to question that. Because they want to minimize, it's just a piece of shrapnel. Oh, really? That's all it was. It was just a piece of shrapnel that hit the president in the fucking head. What if that shrapnel hit him in the eye, Chris Ray? Right, Trump would not look good with an eye patch. Unbelievable. Seriously, everything they do, everything they say is designed to make them look like they're good people when they're not. They're failing, so they lie. Everything's a fucking lie from the left. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? The communications director for Kamala Harris, right? Once Kamala Harris, if elected, this is going to be one of their platform pieces. Well, let's see, I guess, in addition to funding endless wars, giving all of our social spending to illegals in this country while they leave the border open to bring in even more millions of illegals, they want to pack the Supreme Court. Yeah, we don't like the Supreme Court. We need to control the judiciary. So they're going to load it. That's their idea. Load it. You know what? Now I'm giving you one more reason to vote, and vote loud and participate and stop the cheating. Right? If there is a Republican Senate, they can deny every single person that wants to come to the Supreme Court, right? Let's just say Kamala Harris wins by some fantastic method of cheating that we haven't understood yet. Better yet, let's just say Trump, they take another assassination attempt at him and take him out. And Kamala Harris gets elected president, with 191 gazillion votes. Even space aliens and insects vote for her. So she's got 191 gazillion votes. If there is a Republican Senate, the president, Kamala, nominates people, they can just reject them. Nope. Doesn't matter. Nope. But if they keep the Senate and get Kamala, Kamala can nominate Supreme Court justices, and they'll be like, yeah, you bet, Kamala. We've got 200 Democrat Supreme Court justices. They would love that kind of shit, wouldn't they? Wouldn't they? They're all about lies, folks. Trump's in office. He's trying to pack the court. No. He's waiting for vacancies, and then he has his nominees. The thing that presidents do. Part of what presidents are supposed to do. That's their job. Anyways, they are full of lies, hypocrisy, fucking communist piety, and basically just evil. Right? But let's take a look at some more of their lies that are coming back to bite them in the ass. There was a journalist. And, the old claim was never get into fights with someone who buys ink by the barrel, meaning the media. But you know what's funny? If no one's buying their rag, their newspaper, or checking out their websites, who gives a fuck about media anymore? You are the media. You're the consumer and you're the supplier. And we talk to each other now direct. We don't need the fucking media in the way to give us their interpretation. Anyways, this jackass journalist, he decided he was going to criticize Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, former NFL quarterback, NFL great Aaron Rodgers. He had some views about the Jim Jones juice. He criticized it, Aaron Rodgers did. So this journalist attacked Aaron Rodgers. But guess what, folks? Bum, 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 bum. Take a wild guess. The journalist is now dead. I'm sure he got his Jim Jones juice. I'm sure he got his booster. He probably even got a butt booster because that's what he looked like to me in the picture. You can identify him, folks. You can see him. Kind of like when you see a criminal wearing an orange jumpsuit. You know they're a criminal. It's not hard to see the booty boys. Anyways, he died, age 43. Unexpectedly, suddenly, unexpectedly, for no apparent reason, dead. Well, I believe last I checked, Oliver, quick, do an internet search. Is Aaron Rodgers dead? The answer, no, he is not dead, but this jackass of a journalist is. So, who is the smart guy? Am I laughing because that guy's dead? No, I'm laughing because he's an asshole. Right? The lies that come from the left. Right? Now the left is playing identity politics. This is interesting. Get this, folks. They're trying to divide us. They're trying to make race the issue. I'm sick of this race crap. Right? Because you're, let's just say because you're black. You should hate white people because of slavery that was over 150 years ago. It's your fault. No. It's the Democrats are the ones who voted against the civil rights movement. That was over 50 years ago, right? But they want us to hate each other, so they pit us against each other. But Kamala is the Democrats, the mainstream media, Kamala is trying to play identity politics, and it's failing. Right? They're trying to say this, you need to support Kamala because she is a black woman. She's not. She's not. Her dad is a Jamaican, the descendant of slave owners, and her mom is Hindi. So people are getting schooled on the Democrat side out there. They're getting a harsh reality check that it ain't working. And the more I read, black women don't like her. They don't like her a bit. It's all on the left side. It's all fake, fake, fake. In fact, Kamala, who is an awful speaker, and I do think she's a witch. I think she goes to the same coven as Hillary Clinton. She's got a pointy black hat. She's probably got a black cat. I'm sure she's got big warts all over her somewhere, and I'm not going to want to see pictures, right? But she may as well have that big, giant, hairy wart on the end of her nose. She cackles when people are in pain. She cackles when people die. She cackles and laughs when talking to the public and someone's suffering. Right? So today, in order to stage that now, folks, the Obamas are endorsing Kamala. I guess they've decided they're going to put one of the most retarded politicians ever at the forefront of the ticket, and Obama's all for it. It is a bunch of plastic banana, Persian bazaar bullshit. But here's how they played it out. Kamala has her phone. She holds it right next to her ear, but it's on speakerphone. So the camera can hear, right? The camera that's filming it can hear the Obama endorsement. It is a phony baloney, plastic banana, bullshit phone call. But you know who it works on? Democrats. So now Democrats are excited. Oh, His Eminence Obama. The pole-smoking Obama is out there. It's all propaganda. It's all propaganda. It's all propaganda. And Uman wants to share a little bit of fun. He's jumping the gun. He says, best meme of the day was Barry accidentally butt dials camel toes and reluctantly has to endorse her. He's like, oh yeah, Kamala. Yeah, okay. There it is. Lots of memes, folks. Lots and lots of memes. Get your, oh shoot, you know what? I messed up, didn't I? It's Friday free-for-all. We're supposed to shotgun back and forth. Oh, man, you're allowed to come on screen and straighten me out when I mess this up. Let's get to some of your questions. What do you guys want to talk about? What is on your mind? Sheesh, I totally blew that one. And that's why we have such a good show here. Mikey G steps up and says, hey, the FBI is without respect or integrity since Comey. Well, under James Comey, he was disrespectful to the office. He had no class, no integrity. He is a sack of shit. Hillary Clinton has an unsecured server in her private residence. And because of the hack that occurred, vital information of a national security nature was delved into. It just unbelievable. Unbelievable. And that's what we get, right? Now, I want to tell you more about the cheaters, the liars, the scumbags. It's not just the FBI. It's not just the retarded media, but we'll get into more of them later. The Democrats cheat and lie. In the state of Pennsylvania, there's a teachers union there, the Pennsylvania Teachers Union. Well, they're on the hot seat, folks. $1.5 million from union dues has allegedly been laundered so the union could give it to the Democrats. $1.5 million of union dues was laundered and redirected to the Democrats. Democrat cheating, lie, cheat, steal. Lie, cheat, lying for elections, cheating for elections, and stealing for elections. That may as well be their motto. That should be their platform. Lie about this, steal from these people, cheat everywhere you can. That's the Democrat way. And you know what? Democrat voters would support it because that's what they do. Mr. Uman, let's get back into the crowd. Who has something to say out there? And it is Orlando checking in. Orlando sent me a picture yesterday of him out in public wearing his fuck around and find out prepared mind shirt. There was a limited edition of those shirts, and he purchased one. And on the shirt is a silhouette of Kyle Rittenhouse. And Orlando's another big guy. And so he wears it in public and nobody screws with him because he is a big, big guy. But Chin Music, also a big fan of wearing provocative shirts in public. He's got his own shirt that he just sent me. And on the 2024 presidential ballot, right, it says at the top, nursing home patient, convicted felon, or any other Democrat. And his is filled out on convicted felon, letting everyone know he's voting Trump. Sure, that must drive Democrats crazy. But no one, I mean, yeah, you want the nursing home patient? Do you want the cock gobbler or any other Democrat? Right? No one's buying it. But the media is still reporting. The media is still reporting and trying to report and trying to convince America that Kamala's in the race. So Orlando says they have something planned for us. Revolution or civil war is what they were hoping for. And he calls back to Rex 84. Rex 84 comes to mind with this attempt, but now they have to go to plan B. Don't let them fool you. Plan B. Do they really think they can get enough support for Kamala? I want everyone to really think about that. They don't have anyone better than Kamala. And what does that say about the Democrats? She can't speak. She can't speak improvisationally. She can't even read. She is a word salad, sentence torturing moron. And it hurts my ears to listen to her try and speak. I can't wait to put on my best earmuffs and turn my, shall we say, television viewing set to closed caption, and I'll try and read her words during one of the debates, if they allow it. If they are brave enough to put that abject moron and let her speak for herself. Once again, they need to search the ears of candidates for, listening devices. Just good God, these people. I want everyone to be aware, though, that the idea of more false flags, more assassinations, even terror attacks hatched and launched in America that are so big that it could be used as an excuse to scare people. Remember, they used a fake pandemic. They used a fake pandemic to scare people and keep them in their homes. They used the authority of the government, the authority that they have violated, right? We had trust in government. They completely fucking violated it. Dr. Fauci, Dr. Birx, the Democrats, all of them. I tell you, they could do that again, have a terror attack so big that people turn to government. What are you going to do? Government says, be scared. Be very scared. More attacks are coming. All over the country. And they have the people here to do it. They have Hamas people. They have Hezbollah people. They have Al-Qaeda people. They have ISIS people. They have unnamed drug cartel members here, MS-13 and many others. How hard do you think it would be? Seriously, how hard do you think it would be for the government to give them some guns and some money and say, do your worst? Is that unbelievable? Is that salacious? Right? Is that overly provocative? Unnecessarily disrespectful of government? Remember, folks, Eric Holder, Attorney General of the United States, gave automatic weapons to Mexican drug cartels so that they would murder people. And then, well, Obama and Eric Holder could accuse the United States of supplying weapons to foreigners and that we need to make guns illegal. That's how fucked in the head these people are. So if I said, would they turn these people loose in our own country with guns? The answer is yes, they would. And I'm going to find it quite fascinating. And it's going to be very deadly, very scary, very upsetting if drug cartels try that here. Because it will be hunting season. Hunting season. Today on one of my projects, I had an underground construction crew show up. It was an old man in his 60s who liked making Polish jokes, and his sons who were in their 30s. And they came all the way from a place called Pasco County to where I was, in a different county, obviously, because I'm mentioning Pasco County, which is north of Tampa. And basically, they're like, it's going to be hunting season with these people if they even try and show up in Florida and do anything. And I said, look, I'm going to do my best to protect America, which means I'm going to be erasing these people. And they're like, just send them our way. It's going to be deadly, scary, and very upsetting if they were to try this false flag terrorist attack around the country to disrupt the election, because Kamala Harris is such a piss-poor candidate. And that's the best they have. The other option is to let Kamala run the whole way and absolutely give up the presidency. And they're hoping for what? To hold the Senate, minimize damage, in the House of Representatives. But we all have to remember, there is still the bureaucracy of Washington, D.C., and also deep state players who are in the bureaucracy, within the Republican Party as rhinos, in the banking cartel, the U.S. Treasury, finance and Wall Street, entertainment, and of course, news media. They're going to continue to stonewall, obfuscate, attack, lie about Trump if he were to win. They can do an awful lot of damage, folks. Just imagine if the bureaucracy let down their guard the same way these Secret Service bureaucrats let down their guard. And the FBI has let down their guard. What if the the Securities and Exchange Commission allowed cyber attacks to occur in Wall Street? What if big tech put down their guard and allowed cyber attacks? Kind of like just this week, Microsoft was absolutely smashed. A lot of people believe that was CrowdStrike, folks. Imagine public funds, a publicly traded corporation that attacks people. It's beyond, folks. It'd be like, it's very similar to having, let's see, how about Blackwater, American Mercenary Corporation, or whatever they're called these fucking days. How about if they attacked us as terrorists, right? Professional mercenaries that came after the world, right? America, our world. Would that be fine? Would that be cute? Would that be allowed? That's what a cyber attack is. When it's done from offshore and made to look like something else, look like it's Russian, look like it's China. Remember, you can use VPNs, right? Virtual private network, and you can select where you say your attack is coming from, your email is coming from, your searching on the internet comes from. You think the FBI, you think other deep state operatives don't know how to use a VPN to create a false location from which their attacks come? Yeah, I trust these people about as far as I can fucking kick them. I mean, look, it's so obvious that Netanyahu came here and he implied that everyone who supports Hamas, the rapists, the Palestinian rapists of Israel, Israelis, they are rapists and murderers and child killers, etc., kidnappers, extortionists, and terrorists. And Benjamin Netanyahu, like him or not, I don't care, but what he said was accurate, that they are Iran's useful idiots. And that includes more than just the protesters, right? I mean, I want you and me, we all need to watch where everything that's going on out there is leading. The Democrats are fueling hatred for Trump. They're fueling hatred for Israelis and Jews and Americans. Right now, Kamala is trying to distance herself from Israel and all these idiotic liberals in Washington, D.C., who would not attend to Benjamin Netanyahu's visit. All they had to do was attend and sit politely in silence if they didn't like anything he had to say. And if they love the Palestinian terrorists, why not invite them to America to speak before Congress? I mean, hell, they invited that little genocidal moron Zelensky and then waved flags for him when they passed more, let's give our money away to another country, right? So they're fueling hatred towards Trump. They're fueling hatred towards Israelis and Jews. They're fueling hatred towards Americans. So Josh Waller just came out and he blasted the Democrats, all of them, as Iran's useful idiots, not just the protesters. So this includes Kamala Harris, Dick Durbin, AOC, Nancy Pelosi, Bernie Sanders, and Elizabeth Warren, as well as, 70 other Democrats who didn't show up at Netanyahu's speech, right? And he also said, yeah, and the idiot supporters outside are useful idiots that burned our American flag, and they raised in its place the flag of terrorism, the PLO's, Palestinian Liberation Organization. They're fucking terrorists. To raise that flag in our country, I think, is an act of treason, especially when they're replacing the American flag. These people are all absolutely disgusting. Mr. Uman, enough of my crap. What do you guys want to talk about? Let's do a couple from your side. And it's Chin Music. And he says, John, they put her out now with a month to go before the Democrat National Convention. This is a test run, aka trial balloon, where they're going to try this and try that and try some other stuff and experiment and see if they can get the American public to buy something. It's also known as taking a big handful of shit and throwing it at the wall and seeing what sticks. So Chin Music continues. Can the yellow school bus meat gargling, Venn diagram loving cackler? That's pretty good, man. I'm impressed. The yellow school bus. One moment. Hey, Mr. Lucas.
How's it going?
Well, pretty good, my son. Guess what?
What?
I'm in the middle of a live broadcast.
Oh, that's highly convenient.
Would you mind if I called you back?
Not a worry in the world.
Okay, man. I love you. I'll talk to you in a few.
Love you lots. See you in a bit.
Okay, Luke, bye. I love my son. He's awesome. All right, let's continue. Can the yellow short bus, meat gargling, Venn diagram loving cackler go a month without an apocalyptic word salad? Chin Music's answer the question, nope. I'm going to have to second the motion with a solid I. I don't think I've ever heard her speak intelligently. Plus, and when there's been a few times, look, Kamala Harris in the Democrat primary debates was only able to garner 1% of the Democrat vote. 1% of Democrats thought she was so good she should be the president. That makes her worse than Booty Juice, Pete Buttigieg. That makes her worse than every other candidate, including Meathead Beta O'Rourke. And, Beto, his name's Beto. He's more like a beta male. Unbelievable. No, apocalyptic word salad, it's coming. It's absolutely coming. Chin Music, I can't wait for her to actually try speaking. Can you imagine trying to write something for her? You would have to use like second grade words so that hopefully she could read them, have them come in her eyes, then go back out her mouth in some intelligent form. I would not bet on Kamala Harris. She is a long shot. Anyways, thank you, Chin. Oh, man, let's do another one. Who else is out there? Who else has got something to say? And it's Detroit Prepping. What's up, man? How are things up north? Okay. He says, if the Democrats had half a chance, they would be running RFK Jr. Besides him, their battleship is sunk. I'll tell you, Roger, it's crazy, man. Oh, he continues. Black urban men better be careful if they get the lock 'em up chief, the lock 'em up and Chief Harris in it, and it'll be a lot quieter around here. I tell you what, Kamala Harris is famous as the California Attorney General for locking up Black Americans on ridiculous charges and keeping them in jail past their release date. So California had cheap labor, slave labor, because once your sentence is up, you're supposed to be out. So if they hold you longer in jail, that's slavery. Oh, wait a moment. Kamala Harris's family had slaves in Jamaica. So Jamaican me crazy, bitch. Now I understand it. Now I completely understand it. That's right. Oh, yeah, there was a black man who was arrested, tried, convicted, sentenced, and thrown in prison with the death sentence. And his defense team said, look, we need DNA evidence. We need to compare DNA evidence because our man is innocent. And Kamala Harris said to the team, nope, I'm keeping your black man on death row. In fact, he's going to get killed very soon. We're going to kill him. And they said, we need the DNA evidence. We need the DNA evidence. Then we need the DNA evidence. And Kamala Harris denied it. They went to a court, got, I don't know what the right word is, injunction, right? Got the DNA evidence, proved that their client was wrongfully accused, wrongfully tried, wrongfully prosecuted, wrongfully sentenced, and was nearly killed. And that's Kamala Harris and what she thinks of black men, disproportionately throwing him in prison. There it is, man. I tell you what, Detroit Prep, and I hope you take care up there and you're doing well and that everything is good in the hood. All right. Now, Mr. Uman, is it my turn again? Is it your turn? What are we talking about? Apparently, we're talking to Orlando. And he's talking about Barack Hussein Barry-Soetoro Obama. And he says, Obama had his time in office. He needs to get the fuck out already and grow up and grow old with his meat straws in tow. I tell you what, I think that Obama should leave the country forever. I really believe, I'm not grossly exaggerating. This is not for the purpose of satire, even though it just might be amusing. I really think he had something to do with the death of his chef, who was a good swimmer and was apparently an outdoorsman to some degree, who took a paddleboard to a pond and managed to drown. How is that possible? Look, he wasn't paddleboarding in the intercoastal. He wasn't paddleboarding on the ocean in Hawaii or some tropical island where there's big waves. Ponds, very still, very flat. Somehow he managed to fall off a paddleboard, roll into the water, and drown. I think that the Obamas had something to do with that. I think the Obamas had a lot to do with everything that happened, well, let's see, in 2008, 2012, 2016, 2020, and now in 2024. I think they're liars and cheaters and thieves. I mean, let's see. What are the name of the terrorist organization that supported Obama and were good friends with him? That's right, the Weather Underground, a terror organization that in the 1970s bombed and murdered Chicago police. Democrat communists in the 70s bombed and murdered Chicago police and other civilians. Bernadette and Peter Dorn, Uman, are those the names that you recall? Bernadette and Peter Dorn, Weather Underground. Those are supporters and good friends of Obama. How can you have terrorist friends? How can these fucking people be out of prison? Why aren't they being tried in prison for what they were participating in the 70s? How's that work? They're like, yeah, that was a long time ago. Don't worry, we won't kill anyone again. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more. Obama has had his time in life. Talking about pole smoking, right? Woo! Okay. All right, Mr. Orlando, thank you again. And now I want to talk about idiots in the media on this Free for All Friday. And by the way, we will be back Sunday Night Live. So make sure you have your drinks. Make sure you have a big bowl of popcorn or a slice of pizza, maybe some Doritos. Remember, Doritos are safe snacks because the former head of the Secret Service was responsible for protecting Doritos. That's right. That was her experience before the Social Security directorship was handed to her by none other than Dr. Jill Biden. So you can be sure your food that comes from the Frito-Lay Corporation is safe because, you know, she's good at her job. Anyways, before I slip too far from the point, these people, they're fucked up. I want to go to The View. I cannot leave this disgusting, filthy scumbag, anti-American alone. Joy Behar. She couldn't help herself. She had to make a disgusting, sexualized joke about Trump. And the crowd at The View, which is her TV show, were rather taken aback by it. But Joy Behar thought she was clever. I guess she figured being a little bit crass, crude, and direct, which is what I'm good at, was good for The View. So what she said, you want to know? You guys want to know what she said? She said to the crowd, Trump wouldn't give an inch. Just ask Stormy Daniels. Wonk, wonk, wonk. That joke, you know, yeah. And I say to this, right? Trump knew Stormy needs at least 4 dicks at 12 inches each. Now, that's more like a proper sexualized joke. Behar is piss poor at insults, and she's also remarkably, galactically piss poor at critical thinking. They just don't realize that what they're up against, the left. What they do is they lie, they cheat, and they steal. And that's what they do. That's why they're in office. Because that's what they're good at. And it works, folks. Ooman chimes in. He says, small hands and all, whistling into a cave comes to mind. Woo! Yeah. Are we talking about Joy Behar or Stormy Daniels? Or both. I tell you, folks, it's crazy world. Who's up next, Mr. Ooman? I know we've got more out there. It is the Friday free-for-all. And folks, understand, this weekend, something big will happen. Something big is going to happen. Now, let me get to Ooman here. This is important. France is on fire all over the place. Terrorists are setting fires all over the country to disrupt the Olympics. They sabotaged the rail lines in France in an effort to cause derailment, crash, death. It's called terrorism. Setting fires, terrorism. Looting, terrorism. Murder, terrorism. Arson is terrorism. Bomb threats are terrorism. Real bombs are terrorism. Shooting people is terrorism. Beating them in the streets. Stopping, closing down streets, bridges, tunnels. Terrorism, 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 terrorism. Who's doing that? That's right. Pro-Hamas, pro-Palestinian, pro-terrorist, jihadi morons. And they're all over France. We really want them here in America? So let's just keep inviting them in by the millions? You know what? I'm going to say there are a lot of Americans out in our great country that if hunting season opened up on these murderous terrorist assholes, that they would probably run to the police stations and ask to be deported if hunting season is opened on them. And I'm not saying that I want to see that. I'm saying that would be one hell of a shit show, would it not? France is on fire all over the place, says Ooman. Yes, they are. France is toast. Should anyone be surprised? I am not. But see, they know they're going to get additional, how do we say this? The terrorists are going to get additional media coverage for the simple fact that the Olympics are there. They know that Jews, Israelis are coming to compete in the Olympics. And they've threatened them. they've threatened them with violence merely for being Jewish. I guess that's good enough for them. That's all they need to know. But don't worry, the terrorists also want to kill us. They have the people they hate the most. But this is how it goes. This is who the Intifada, jihadi, radicalized Muslims, they are the xenophobes. You know, they used to call us that. I'm like, xenophobe, that's all you got? Fucking wimps. You come up with a better name for me. Little bitches, get off here. Get out of here, you little fuckers. Right? Xenophobe. Who's xenophobic? Fucking Muslims. They hate everybody. They're afraid of everybody. They'll kill everybody. And everybody that says anything is a threat to them. Starting off, they hate Jews. Then they hate Christians. Then they hate anybody that isn't a Muslim. And then when they've killed everybody, converted everybody to Islam, then they fight with each other. The Sunnis versus the Shias, they fight each other. Then they fuck everything. Boys, literally, little girls, just like that guy named Muhammad, goats, donkeys, anything they can put their dick in. They rape everyone they can. Yeah, they sound like really smart people. I think we should get more in here, right, Kamala? Fucking dumb bitch. All right. It's a Friday free for all, folks. It's not the Friday, let's be polite and nice. It's the Friday free for all. All right, Mr. Uman, I know we've got more. Let's get into it. Meanwhile, I'm loading up the news to see what has happened since we started the show. Hey, it's Detroit Preppin'. He's back. And he says, John, do you believe anyone could really organize that level of chaos in the USA without federal government involvement? The answer, Roger, is no. The federal government would have to be involved. The federal government, unlike, shall we say, local and state organizations, the federal government has the reach over the entire country. And this is what's disgusting about the federal government. Their jurisdiction is the city of Washington, D.C. Okay, you're following me. I know everyone knows about Washington, D.C. That is the federal enclave. Right? They have original jurisdiction over Washington, D.C., forts, arsenals, dockyards, military bases, U.S. territories like, well, the Marianas Islands, Guam, you know, that island that'll tip over, Puerto Rico. That's where they have real jurisdiction. Everywhere else, they just have buildings doing business as. They're DBAing. But what makes me sick is they don't really and should not have any jurisdiction in any state. But what they do is they get land, and then they build a federal court and federal buildings, FBI, IRS. All their agencies are in every state and every city. The FBI has field offices across the country, places where they should not nor need jurisdiction because they don't have it. So yes, Mr. Detroit Preppin, I do believe that the only way to get a national level of chaos is to use federal government resources. Now, who in the federal government, right? Detroit, man, you know, up in Michigan, a group of retarded honkies were tricked, coerced by an FBI agent or agents. In fact, it was agents. And one of the agents was committing incredible amounts of domestic violence and abuse. He was a giant piece of shit FBI agent. And because of what he did and their actions, and it was a complete frame-up, complete entrapment. It was such a poorly handled operation trying to convince these dumbass hicks that they need to go kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer. And then they arrested him and tried prosecuting him. And all the dirty shit about the FBI came out. Now, number one, That, I think, is a perfect example of what the FBI is capable and willing of doing. Number two, they have people with that level of morality all across the country at every FBI field office. So yes, sir, I do believe that they could organize that level of chaos. And they don't have to do it all in one day. They could go out and talk to MS-13, the drug cartels. They could go out and talk to the pro-Palestinian families. They know where they're at. They're giving them credit cards, welfare cards. And when they go slide that card and get food, it tells the government right where these people are located. Okay, this group is in this town. This group is in this town. Oh, you want another EBT card? Here you go. It's got your name. You're that guy from country X that likes to throw acid in the face of women and toss homosexuals off of buildings. Yeah, that little group is here. So there's this cell in St. Louis. There's this other cell in Portland. There's another cell in Dallas. There's a cell up in Baltimore, Philly, Chicago, Detroit, right? San Francisco, LA. You bet. Well, there's some in Albuquerque. Of course there will be. There's some in Orlando, Florida, Charlotte, up the Eastern Seaboard, New York, Boston, right? Everywhere. They've got these cells because guess what? These people, they call each other. Oh, yeah, they've got phones the government has given them. Phones the government has given them. And they're making phone calls. Those phones can be pinged, meaning the government sends out a signal, it goes to a control tower, goes back to their phones, and it's triangulated. They know right where these people are that they've given phones and credit cards to. How hard would it be to go find them, say, here's some guns. Oh, by the way, here's a bunch of cash. Now, here's your mission. Should you choose to take it, Mr. Phillips? When chaos starts, and you'll know, we want you to commit all the terror you can do. Is that so hard to believe coming from a government that is willing to tell its citizens that they're all going to fucking die from a pandemic, even though it didn't exist? Is that so hard to believe that a government would do that? That medically experimented on populations of black people in Mississippi, giving them syphilis and killing them, letting them die in medical experiments? Oh, they've done so much more, folks. So much more. So much more. They're willing to arrest January 6th protesters, whether they're men, women, old, young, black, white, doesn't matter, and lie about them and throw them in prison and keep them there, whether they give them a trial or not, whether they give them some bullshit kangaroo court, star chamber, bullshit trial. They get thrown in jail, destroying lives, families, fortunes. It has just started, Detroit, man. It's just started. And that is why we are preppers. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. I don't think I'm going to allow myself to be arrested because I know what these butt pirates have in mind if they could get their little slimy painted fingernails on me. All right. Let's check out the news here at the end of the day, at the end of the week. And would you look at that? The pro-communist, pro-Karl Marx, New York Attorney General Letitia James, she has threatened the United States Supreme Court. Little chicken shit Attorney General from the state of New York is going to threaten the Supreme Court. She's demanding that they refuse to look at the sham bullshit case being brought by Trump against her, right? The sham hush money case. She does not want the Supreme Court to look at it. So she's giving him a threat. I wonder what the threat could be. Let's find out. New York is doubling down its quest to interfere, says Attorney General. Oop, it's another Attorney General. Today, Letitia James asked the Supreme Court to allow New York to continue with its lawfare. Deplorable and illegal. Not deplorable, but deplorable. Right? Let's see. In its legal filing, Letitia James said that a Supreme Court ruling in Trump's favor would, quote, seriously undermine the integrity of the courts and risk setting a dangerous precedent that encourages a flood of similar unmeritorious litigation. Allowing Missouri to file this lawsuit for such relief against New York would permit an extraordinary and dangerous end run around former President Trump's ongoing proceedings. I tell you, these fucking people throw out word salad. These people suck, folks. I don't want to read any more of her bullshit because it's all lies. All lies. And by the way, I find it absolutely fascinating that Netflix is losing massive amounts of customers for their latest funding. Oh, yeah, of Kamala Harris's campaign. I love listening to the Democrats complain online. You know what they're doing? They're using bullshit excuses and jargon. And a friend of mine read to me one of the letters, and I said there was at least 5 logical fallacies in there. There's an old Prepared Mind video. The audio sucks. I don't know what YouTube did to it. But it's called Arguing Like a Man, right? How to argue. Logical fallacies. Prepared Mind. It's worth listening to. I dug it up the other day because every time one of these Democrats opens their mouths and makes an argument, it's bullshit. It's everything that they talk about is based on misdirection and lies. And it's easy to see and hear once you understand what it is they're doing and how they operate. Now, we've gone past 1 hour. It is the Friday night free for all, but I'm going to call it quits. I'm going to take a quick breather, catch my breath. I think I'll give Lucas a call back. I love my son, my grandson, my family. And then I'm going to be back Sunday Night Live. So keep a sharp eye out. Watch your 6. Heidi, if you're going to that Trump rally, be careful. All of you, get prepared. Do some training this weekend. Do some thinking. But also get rest, right? We've got a long, arduous battle ahead of us. God bless America and Semper Fi. I'll see you all Sunday Night Live at 6 p.m. Eastern.